Now, when I am a member of parliament, you will be thrilled. I love to listen to people. Everybody has a story to say, and then I want to chip in somewhere and I want to better their lives in whatever way I can.
So were you always this sorted in your mind, or it has all
No,
happened
I
through
have
age?
cultivated myself. It's not like that. I read a lot. I am in love with Bhubaneswar.
Oh, nice.
And God was very kind. Mahaprabhu Lingaraj was very kind. And he asked me to serve him again after a couple of years.
Came in as one of the partners in prasad distribution, and now there are whispers and talks among different social media platforms that this could give way to corporate religiosity. So what do you think, this is like
No, that's
modernization or just overreach?
Malaysia was not as friendly as we thought it would be towards India.
And why would you say that, and what has changed?
People in Odisha are extremely sensitive, extremely educated also.
You're known for your ability to speak out when it is necessary, but you're not overly aggressive. Hi, welcome back to yet another steeping hot episode of Tea with Taniya, where we stir policy, power, perspective, one conversation at a time. I am honored today to sit across a woman who's moved effortlessly from district administration to global platforms, who's moved from rural Odisha to diplomatic global missions. She is a force to reckon with. She is a force of grit, governance, and grassroots leadership. Mrs. Aparajita Sarangi, Member of Parliament, ma'am, namaskar and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, you've served as an IS officer, and then from an IS officer to a Member of Parliament. I mean, when you look back, what is that moment where you can actually put your finger and think, like, this is the moment of my transition from a bureaucrat to a politician?
I recall vividly that I decided to get into politics on 2nd of August 2018, 4 p.m. in
Oh, wow.
Delhi. I was sitting with my family and having tea with them, the evening tea. And suddenly I tell my husband and my two children who were with us that I would like to quit administration. And trust me, three of them were aghast. They did not know what to say, and they thought probably I was joking, but it was definitely not a joke. I had been mulling over the idea for quite some time. And when I told them the reason, they, of course, sided with me, they rather supported me, and the rest is history. In fact, I wanted a very large platform on which I would stand and serve hundreds and thousands of people. And this is definitely a bigger horizon. Politics is a bigger horizon. And my only concern is that I touch as many lives as possible on daily basis. So that was the intention. And in bureaucracy, I just felt that, I was getting limited. And in 24 years of my very satisfying bureaucratic stint at both state government and central government levels, I had almost given my everything to bureaucracy, and I thought I had derived whatever I had to derive from bureaucracy. So I didn't have much to offer and much to take. So I thought, why not better do something very different? And life is one. There should be variety, and more than that, I wanted a bigger horizon, a bigger platform, as I said, and I wanted to connect with more number of people.
Right. So, when you recall yourself being a bureaucrat and you've served a little more than a decade in the state of Odisha, that was also public service. And then when you transitioned into a politician or two-time member of parliament, that is also service of public, right? But what has remained same? I mean, you've worked at the level of panchayat and now you work at the level of parliament. What has remained same? And where exactly is the power shift?
Very good question. See, it all depends on your attitude as a bureaucrat and your attitude when you come into politics. I think the attitude has remained the same. And as a bureaucrat, also, I was very much focused on people's works. So I would be moving around a lot. I would be touring a lot. When I was joint secretary of the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program in Delhi, I remember I went to 24 states of the country.
Wow.
and I would be moving around in villages in different states. And when I was Secretary Education in Government of Odisha, then I went to almost 25 districts, and then I would move from school to school, correcting things here and there. So I think it all depends on your attitude. I have always loved to work with people and for people, and that is something which remains the same. It's only the only thing is that there has to be a 360-degree change in your approach towards things when you are in politics. People expect a lot from you, and the best part is that I derive a lot of happiness when I'm with people. Always, always. In bureaucracy also, and now in politics also, I feel very happy when I am with people and just listening to them, connecting myself with their lives, and everybody has a story to say. So
Right.
if you come to my public grievance cell in my office or wherever I am now when I am a member of parliament, you will be thrilled. I love to listen to people. Everybody has a story to say, and then I want to chip in somewhere and I want to better their lives in whatever way I can. So it's a very satisfying job now.
But how do you relate to everyone's narrative? I mean, you could be, with somebody's narrative, but at the same time, not offending the other's narrative. I mean, it comes with a risk, right? If you choose one side, it automatically means you're not with the other side. And now, when you say that you like serving people and you like listening to their stories, and there are so many narratives, as many people, how do you stay true? How do you stay true to that essence?
Very rightly said. In fact, if you are uh, good at heart, if you are genuinely concerned with the issues of people, if you are not a hypocrite, I think life is very easy. And if you take things very simple, life is very easy. So for me, I think I'm a very straightforward person. If I don't like something, I say in my own way, sometimes politely, sometimes not. But then, one has to be very genuine at heart. So I think if you are good at heart and if your body, mind, soul are in same line, that's very important. You have to think, you have to speak, you have to think in the same way, and that is why I don't think there is any problem. There is absolute coordination among all these three. I would say body, mind, and soul. I do a lot of yoga too. So I think a lot of walking, a lot of exercises. So I think body, mind, and soul are in perfect coordination, and I don't have to pretend before anybody. I
Anybody?
am what I am. If you see my diaries, if you see my notebooks, you will find two lines written everywhere in every diary or notebook that I have. I have written, I accept myself as I am, and I believe in myself, in the potential of my life and personality.
Wow.
Yeah. So I have accepted myself as I am, and I try to give as much love as possible to people around me. And I always tell myself in the morning, it should be one smile at a time throughout the day. One should keep smiling, one should be spreading happiness. That's how it is.
So, were you always this sorted in your mind, or it has all
No,
happened
I
through
have
age?
cultivated myself. It's not like that. I read a lot. I reflect a lot. I also do a lot of meditation whenever I get time. And I'm a very private person. I love my own company. So whenever I'm with myself, I do a lot of reading, a lot of reflection. And I think I have built myself over a period of time. Of course, I was not like this.
Right. I mean, a lot of us cannot boast about an inner compass, if you can call it. But this is where my next question would be. You've served as a bureaucrat for so long, almost a little over a decade in the state of Odisha. What part of Odisha actually has had a hand in, emphasizing your inner compass? Would you call it Koraput, Nuapada, or Bhubaneswar?
I am in love with Bhubaneswar.
Oh, nice.
And God was very kind. Mahaprabhu Lingaraj was very kind. And he asked me to serve him again after a couple of years. This is my fortune. And I really thank the people of Bhubaneswar and the people of Odisha for having given me this opportunity to serve them. Having said that, I can always say that Koraput is a lovely place where I was district collector. I was district collector in 4 districts, and I had the most challenging assignments all through. I was also the municipal corporation municipal commissioner in Bhubaneswar. So I think, as far as Bhubaneswar is concerned, as far as Khurda district is concerned, I'm emotionally connected with this area. this district, this coastal district. And I think I know all the alleys, all the villages of this particular part of Odisha. Koraput was a great pleasure. It's a very beautiful district. I was briefly in Nuapada too as a collector, and I was in Bargad also, or Bargad is called the rice bowl of Orissa.
Right.
And I had a very challenging assignment, I would call it, because that time the distress sale of paddy was on, and I had to control that situation. And the farmers were highly agitated because their paddy was not getting sold, not being purchased by the government. So at that point of time, I had to really play a very big role as the representative of the government in the district. So very challenging it was. But if you want to ask me as to where I really derived the most, where I learned the most, and which place I loved, I would say Bhubaneswar and Bhubaneswar and Bhubaneswar.
Fantastic, fantastic. So we'll move this conversation a little bit away from Bhubaneswar to what has happened in the first quarter of this year. It has been politically and socially a very tough year for our country. What happened in Pahalgam, and you were a part of the delegate that went global to represent India's stance against anti-terror. And what was your mandate when you walked into that room with the foreign diplomats and foreign players?
I would say that it was an experience of a lifetime, and I cannot thank Honorable Prime Minister enough for having given me this great opportunity. Incidentally, on April 22nd, when 26 tourists were gunned down in Pahalgam, I was in Srinagar. And Srinagar is just 90 kilometers away from Pahalgam. So I think I saw the dead bodies from close quarters when I was in Srinagar. I would say that it was heartrending. And then again, I would reiterate thanks to Honorable Prime Minister. I was chosen for a particular delegation that went to 5 countries in the eastern part of the world: Japan, Republic of Korea, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. And we were 9 in the delegation, 7 MPs of both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, one ex-diplomat, and one ex-foreign minister, Sri Salman Khurshid ji. So we were 9 of us belonging to different political parties, and the mandate given to us by Honorable Prime Minister and his government was very clear. We had to set the narrative right as far as India was concerned in these countries, as far as Operation Sindoor was concerned. We had to tell them as to what kind of role Pakistan was playing in promotion of terrorism in the world, number one. And number two, in the communication war with Pakistan, we had to actually win. We had to set the narrative right. Pakistan had been peddling lies and creating a false propaganda against India in the Operation Sindoor. So I think we had to really put facts straight. And wherever, whichever country we went to, it was very challenging. We met the top positioned politicians there. We met the think tank members. We met the community associations. We met the Pravasi Bharatiya. So I think different segments of people we met with, we heard all of them. And we, of course, spoke about India. It was a great pleasure to be able to bat for my own motherland. So I think we did talk about how Pakistan has not only been promoting terrorism but also giving birth and nurturing terrorism. Right. And we did talk about the fact that there is absolutely no difference between the sponsors of terrorism and the terrorists as such. We, in fact, emphatically made very clear that the perpetrators, the organizers, the financiers, and the sponsors of terrorism should be held accountable and
And all
brought
put
to
in the
justice.
same bracket, yes.
Absolutely. So I think at the end of the day, I would say that after we finished this 14 days tour, uh, 14 days tour in 5 nations, we came back very satisfied. And thanks to the External Affairs Minister, Sri Jaishankar ji, and Honorable Prime Minister, they called us and we had to brief them about the outcome. Very satisfying. And I did tell Sri Nadda ji also the other day that I learned a lot from all these experiences. So I think I'm much more enriched after this movement in the 5 countries.
Was there any pushback from the foreign diplomats?
Uh, One country we were not very comfortable in. Yes, 4 countries were good enough. Malaysia was not as friendly as we thought it would be towards India.
And why would you say that? And what has changed?
Malaysia was up, absolutely upfront when it started its discussion with us. Malaysia said, "You are our friend, but Pakistan is a bigger friend."
Mm-hmm.
And China is the largest trade partner that we have. So when the country started having a dialogue with us with this kind of
Mindset,
statement,
yeah.
I think we were quite, disheartened. And we didn't have, I was not very, we were not very comfortable in Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
but the other four countries, absolutely wonderful reception. All of them were very receptive. They could understand India's viewpoint very well, and we could put forth our things extremely clear before them. So everything was absolutely put forth on the table very cogently, very clearly, very candidly, and we came back very satisfied.
On that note, are we strategizing something with Malaysia, against Malaysia, anything with Malaysia in
No,
future?
absolutely right. In fact, you know what? We came back, and this was the thing that I personally told Sri Jaishankarji. I said we need to kind of, change our stance as far as Malaysia is concerned, and he did take note of it. I'm sure Sri Jaishankarji must have thought something about it. And in fact, I was straightforward enough to bring it to the knowledge of Honorable PM also. And Honorable PM also listened to me very, I would say intently. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, yes, it is. So I think Malaysia, we have to calibrate our relationship. We have to calibrate our approach towards it.
So, what is that one most difficult narrative? It was becoming very difficult for you to convey to these foreign players when India went as, a global team, and, they were trying to put India's stance under Operation Sindoor. What was that most difficult narrative to convey?
See, Indus Water Treaty in 1960 was drafted and it was ratified. Pakistan and India signed, and we have kept it in abeyance post this particular unfortunate incident that happened on April 22nd. And this has led to a lot of problems in Pakistan. The Indus Water Treaty has been kept in abeyance irrevocably and uh, very clearly until Pakistan abjures its support for terrorism. That is what the line says. So this was slightly raked up by some people here and there, saying that why did you keep the treaty in abeyance? Because it involved supply of water to the people of Pakistan.
Right.
So I think this was something which we had to really convince them about. So we had facts and figures, we had the arguments, and we did, but we had to, put forth things very cogently, very clearly, and with a lot of, I would say, facts and figures when it came to Indus Water Treaty. Otherwise, I think everything they could understand our viewpoint, but some of the countries, of course, uh, are quite pally with Pakistan, that we must accept. And we must know that Pakistan is a member of the United Nations Security Council, where we are not. They are a non permanent member. We are not. So they are on that platform. One. Number two, there is a financial action task force. Some of the countries were members there. We were not. There is the uh, Organization of Islamic Countries, OIC, where Pakistan was a member and others were members. We were not. So, on these international platforms, if we are not there, our voice will not be understood.
Right.
Our mindset will not be understood. So, I think there we put forth very clearly that since we are not there on those platforms, we have come all the way to your country to let you know that Pakistan is instigating terrorists and Pakistan is disturbing India. And we also said that there is a very good relation, there is a, I would say, a very intense relationship between development and peace.
Correct.
India is completely focused under Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji on development issues. Peace is an essential prerequisite for development. So that is why we do not want any country, whether it be Pakistan or any other country, to disturb our peace. We want peace because we want development. We want to be a developed nation by 2047. And we are the fourth largest economy. We are the fastest growing major economy. We would be in the next 2.5 to 3 years the the fastest, the third largest economy. So I think in this kind of scenario, we needed peace.
Right.
And we did tell them, in fact, I was very vocal about it, that I think we have lots of advantages and we are moving in a good direction. And at this juncture, we do not want countries like Pakistan to disturb the peace. I
Right.
think this was well taken in.
So this is where I would like to pop up another question, that since you come from civil services backgrounds, which is deeply rooted in grassroots governance, and then you go on to become a member of the delegate team that presents India's stance under Operation Sindoor on a global platform across 5 different countries. Do you really think your role as a bureaucrat has helped you on that, on that global platform, to be able to voice out what your opinions have been or what they might be? And like you said, you were very frank with Mr. Jaishankar and Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Modi.
See, of course, I mean, being a former IAS officer has already helped, has really helped me. And, you need to understand issues. You need to immediately grasp situations. You have to know how to respond in a particular situation and in which manner. I think all this comes through experiences, and all this comes through lot of reading, lot of learning, uh, and we have to put in a lot of efforts to acquire knowledge. It doesn't come over a single night. So a lot of toiling is required for that matter. And 24 years in the governance sector as an IAS officer has really helped me. I can, with a lot of humility, I would say, understand issues in a much better manner and in a quicker manner than many people who have not been in the IAS, because I know the situations. I know I can anticipate what would be coming. So I think definitely it has helped me. And even as a parliamentarian, when I speak in the Lok Sabha, or I, as a national spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, I have to take debates on the TV channels. I find it very easy because I understand and appreciate things much better.
Right. So, at this point, do you believe that India or Indian polity really needs more administrative minds in the diplomatic, settings?
See, I would definitely recommend for educated people. I wouldn't say administrative minds. That would be very wrong for me to say like that. But I think we need educated people as politicians.
And should there be a bridge, like more people like yourself who've served on the other side as a
It
bureaucrat?
helps. We are able to understand things in a much better manner, in a much quicker manner, as I said. And I was very lucky. They put me in the Joint Parliamentary Committee of Waqf also. When the Waqf bill came, we had to actually go through the bill and give our viewpoints. So I think that also helped me a lot. I learnt a lot, and at the same time, I could give a lot to that bill, which had come for analysis in the Joint Parliamentary Committee. So I'm just giving you an example. And when I stand up in the Lok Sabha and I have to speak on various bills on behalf of my party, I think I feel that I'm much more comfortable because I know things. I mean, this is with a lot of humility, I say, but at the same time, I would say it's not because I have been an administrator. I think we need educated people in
And
politics,
passion.
and passion, dedication, and attachment to a particular cause, and this helps a lot. But there is definitely a difference between a person who is not educated, semi educated, and an educated person. So, in fact, I can say with a lot of happiness that today we have lots of educated people in the Lok Sabha and in the Rajya Sabha, which is good for the country.
Right. So, we talked about your love for Bhubaneswar, and then we moved to a global platform, and then I'd like to pull you back into Bhubaneswar. So, let's talk about your love for Bhubaneswar and Puri. And for someone as yourself who feels so close home to Bhubaneswar and Puri, and let's talk about the Ratiatra that happened this year and the kind of chaos that unfolded. I mean, how do you feel about all of that?
See, as I told you, I'm emotionally attached with Odisha. It's my mother-in-law's place, father-in-law's place, my husband's place. So that's also one reason why I love this place. This place has given me my husband, right? So I think uh, I am indebted to Orissa for that matter. Mahaprabhu Jagannath is the backbone of the lives of all Odiyas. And we cannot imagine a day when we don't say Jai Jagannath. That's how we live our day. But whatever happened this time should not have happened. There was chaos, there were deaths, people got injured. I can only say that things would have been better managed. Beyond this, I cannot say.
What do you think went wrong? Was it the crowd forecasting, the administrative preparedness, or even something completely different at play?
I can only say that, it would have been better governance. Maybe anticipation of the crowd
Went awry, yeah.
went awry, and things were not put into place as they should have been. Maybe we had become very complacent. It is my government here. And that's why I'm saying that's also I'm part of the team. So I think we all became very complacent. We thought it would be, every year it happens, so this year also we'll be able to handle things. But it did not. Accidents are rare, but they do happen,
They
and
do.
it did happen, unfortunately. And I'm sure administration or the government here must have learnt its lessons very hard. And I'm sure this would not be repeated in the days to come.
You yourself have been at one of the highest chairs of municipal corporation at one time, and you do understand the ins and outs of the logistics of such type of mega events like Ratiatra. If you continued to sit on that chair now, what is that one thing you would have done differently this year?
Ratiatra.
Yes.
Had I been in that chair, I think I would have gone for much better governance.
Mhm.
Crowd management would have been better. Coordination among different line departments, which actually work on the ground, should have been better. The line departments should be talking to each other, and the line departments must work in a highly coordinated manner. And I think somewhere it went wrong this time. And there should have been much more closure monitoring than it was this time. And it is no room for, there should be no room for complacency. Anything can happen anytime. So I think uh, that monitoring was missing somewhere, that supervision was missing somewhere, there was lack of coordination, and the overall governance failed.
Right. And this year also, during the Rath Yatra festival in Puri, Adani Group came in as, one of the partners in prasad distribution. And now there are whispers and talks, among different social media platforms that this could give way to corporate religiosity. So what do you think? This is like
No,
modernization or just overreach?
that's baseless.
Mhm.
See, if Mr. Adani comes with his wife to offer prayers, and if Mr. Adani comes forward and says, I want to feed a certain number of people in Puri, I think the government of Odisha should welcome him. He's a citizen of the country, and he wants to come, and he wants to offer his services, and he wants to contribute. I think we should be very happy about it. What's wrong? See, we should not be anti corporate in our view.
Mhm.
Odisha has to come up. Odisha has to be one of the fastest growing economies in the country. Odisha has to have a bigger GDP growth rate, higher GDP growth rate. So, for that matter, we have to take everybody along. And if the corporates come, Adani or somebody else, I think with a very open heart, we should all welcome.
I think I agree with you on the point that Odisha as a state is slowly waking up to the realization of corporate as a culture. But this is where I want to, understand from you, like where do you draw the line? What would you call a corporate culture or a culture takeover? Like where do you draw the line?
No, see, I think Odisha is mature enough to draw that line. Odisha is a highly, I would say, a conservative state, and in the right sense. And we have a lot of focus on our traditions, on our uh, culture, on our conventions, and I think all of us are very proud of. We have lots of plus points in our culture, in our traditions, in our customs, in our way of thinking. So I think those things keeping intact, right? If we allow others to come, and also help us grow. What's wrong in that? The only thing is that there has to be maturity, there has to be a balanced approach. And I'm sure people in Odisha are extremely sensitive, extremely educated also, and they know what's what. And let us trust the Orias. They are very good people, they are mature people, they are knowledgeable people, and they know where to draw the line. I don't think there'd be any problem. And only thing is that the government has to act mature enough to ensure that we are not off our feet when the wind blows from outside, right? We should be, I hope you understand what I mean. We should not be off our feet when there is a breeze from outside.
Right.
Right. So breeze would come. Let us welcome that breeze. Let us welcome that wind. But then at the same time, we should be deeply rooted.
Right.
Right. So I think if I like, I mean, this is my convention, I'm wearing a sari. Even if somebody says that, somebody comes in some other attire, I feel comfortable in this. This is my custom. I should be welcoming that person at the same time. I should be adhering to my custom and my attire. So I think it is like that. So I think Odisha people are rich, are mature enough to draw the line.
Right. So is it okay, or is it safe to say that, Odisha being one of the, dhams, can have spiritual sanctity and brand sponsoring going hand in hand?
Absolutely, no problem at all. No problem at all. See, I mean, we are moving fast. The world is moving fast. And we are a global village now. We have to learn from each other. But at the same time, we should not forget our conventions and customs, to my mind.
Right. Now, I'll get a little personal with you, right? Yeah. So, I have seen you on screen, and only recently I was able to see you, honored to see you off screen. And the one thing that has actually appealed to me about you is that you're known for your ability to speak out when it is necessary, but you're not overly aggressive. How have you built that brand about yourself?
See, we should be assertive. We should not be aggressive, to my mind. We can be extremely assertive, but at the same time, we should be polite. And I have cultivated this. There is no need for aggression at all. I mean, why should you go out of your, what to say, um, your demeanor should be pleasant.
Right.
That's what I wanted to say. We should always try to be as courteous as possible, as pleasant as possible, and um, the demeanor should be as appealing to others as possible. So I think it's all a question of cultivating oneself. So I have always tried to be very assertive and polite. I'm very assertive, I know. I say what I think is right. And I always say that भूल को भूल कहने का सत साहस होना चाहिए और जो भूल है उसे कहना होगा और मैं हमेशा एक बात बोलती हूँ कि रामधारी सिंह दिनकर की दो लाइनें हैं समर शेष है नहीं पाप का भागी केवल व्याध जो तटस्थ है समय लिखेगा उनका भी अपराध समथिंग गोज रॉन्ग समवेयर you should have the courage to speak out. If you do not, if you are indifferent, if you are quiet, then you are a party to the crime. So I think for that matter, wherever I have found something is wrong, I go by my conscience and I do speak out in a very polite manner, but in a very assertive manner. But I hate being aggressive. And I will also, with a lot of humility, suggest to everybody who's listening to us, please don't be aggressive unnecessarily. Yes, there are situations which call for aggression. That's a different matter. But then that should be few and far between.
Right.
Why should we be aggressive? And as a woman, I can't think of a very aggressive woman.
Yeah.
One should be as pleasant as possible,
Possible.
and we should cultivate that pleasantness in our personality.
I think that's one of the best things that happened to me today when you walked in and you presented two of your colleagues or your friends, as you know, and the way you presented them to me. And and immediately I told you that it feels amazing, when women in power acknowledge other women, because women have been so, like stereotyped throughout the generations to, future generations to come, even the past generations that we have had, we start relating to more males. We start, gaining more male attributes. But it is great to see that you still hold on to that essence. And that's what my next question is. You're like one of the few people in the Odia or Odisha polity where I know somebody has an administrative mind but a political voice. How do you keep yourself so grounded?
I reflect a lot. I told you earlier, I repeat, I read a lot. And you have to build yourself every day. And we learn a lot from everybody you come in touch with. I tend to observe very keenly, and I listen to people a lot. When I have a conversation with somebody, I always try to listen to the person concerned for 70% of the time. That's what I have cultivated. 70% of the time I will listen, 30% I will speak. So, when you listen, you observe a lot. And when you observe, the good things in the person will be noticed.
Right.
And then you can imbibe, within your personality. So I think everybody, now in politics, I get a lot of opportunities to meet hundreds of people. Everybody here and there teaches me a lot. Like I'm
Right.
talking to you, maybe you have hundreds of attributes. And if I listen to you, if I observe you keenly, maybe I will be able to get those attributes, I will understand. And maybe a couple of days after, you will find those attributes in me too. So it's basically a question of being as flexible as one can be. I'm very flexible as a person.
Right.
I always, at the end of the day, I tell myself, where did I go wrong? I mean, did my behavior affect somebody adversely? No. If I have not, then it has been a good day. One should be as pleasant, as courteous, as polite, as kind, as generous as possible. It's such a short life. And uh, I'm very proud to be a woman. And I want to be a woman in my next birth too. It's so beautiful to be a woman. Women are very pretty.
They are.
And yes, we are very colorful. So I think I always would say that, I would, whenever you see me, you will find me surrounded by women because I
Yes.
love to be surrounded by women.
Right.
I mean, with all regards for men, I'm very fond of my husband, but then I would like to be working with women all the time.
Thank you for setting that record straight. You never know who's listening and what they get out of it. But yes, I'll just wrap up this podcast
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
with you with one final question.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're very proud to be, you're very proud to be a woman, and you want to be a woman again in the next birth too. Like imagine, let's say you come to know that if tomorrow somebody is telling a child somewhere that I want you to grow up to be like Aparajita Sarangi, and when you hear that, what values do you want them to mean?
I would say courteous, pleasant, simple at heart, kind, educated.
Absolutely. That's a great reply. Thank you so much for this
Thank you.
episode, and thank you so much for your time with us. I mean, it was great talking to you. I think we covered a lot of grounds in this
Yes,
episode.
we did.
We talked about your role as a bureaucrat and your transition into, the governance, and how things have happened, and how this year has been a little more difficult for us as the citizens of Odisha and the country, and what your role has been. It was fantastic talking to
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank
And for those of us who are watching us right now, do give us a like, subscribe, and share. And do let us know in the comment section how you like this episode. See you next time. Until then, goodbye. Take care.